Okay, what we're going to do here for the next few minutes is some training on the website, and hopefully y'all can see um, the website up here on the screen. Can you?
Yeah, we see it. Yep.
Okay, all right. So the first thing that I want to go over is if you have not logged on yet and you have forgotten your user ID and password, um, when when you when you go into if I wanted to log on as a different user, and that's what we'll start with here. Um, when you attempt to log into the website, you're going to see this this screen. Basically, it says login. If you know your username, you put it here. If you know your password, you put it here, and then you click login. If you do not, or if you don't remember, if you forget my username and password, what you get is a screen that says forgot username and password. That's pretty clever. And so you put your email address in there and you put your first name in the next block and then hit OK. Well, what'll happen after that is you will receive, excuse me, an email from Club Express that 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 will give you a username and a password to log in with. So, sorry, that's that's the simple way. And I didn't want to go through all the waiting for the email and all that, but that's once you get that, then the next thing that you want to do once you get logged in is click on your name, and you'll see this down this pull down screen of stuff that you can do. And the first one up there says profile. Now, one of the things that I really like about this website is that it allows us as the members to update our user data. And I'll bet Mike Hamer really likes it because that saves him from doing a lot of typing. So when you log in, this is the first thing that you see under summary or under profile rather. So if you want to update your basic member information, you click on that, and then you go down. You can put, like, if you want to be saluted by some, as a have a salutation of a military rank or reverend or whatever you would like to have as your salutation. You can put that, your name. If you're married, you can include your spouse information, your primary address. If you have a secondary address, those of us with homes in Florida and stuff, you could put that there. Um, Other contact information, like if you want to put your mobile phone, your email address, and that's really important. You'll notice it's got a little red dot by it. That means it's important because this is how the system will send you emails that we put out on the blast thing. So remember when we did the forgot logon thing, it asked for an email address. That email address should match the one that you enter should match this one, and the first name that you enter should match what's in this field right here, and that's the way it knows who to send the login information to. So when you get to the bottom of this, and this is really important, when you get to the bottom of any of these screens where you're putting in information that you want to keep, click save. If you don't click save, it won't get saved. And so you may have entered a lot of information for nothing. Um, Going to the next thing, additional member data. There are some fields up here that you can't change. One is whether or not you've submitted a DD-214. That's something that either Mike Hamer or somebody with admin rights has to add. Also, if you're on a committee, again, that assignment is indicated by somebody with admin rights. But then when you get down to what your occupation is, You can complete that. The important stuff for me was who were we who were who were we with in the military? Uh, when did you arrive on your first tour in Vietnam? When did you leave? Who were you with? Where did you serve? And then if you did more than one tour, if you're like a two-time loser like me, you'll put your second tour and who you were with and what core tactical zone you were in. And then there's even a place for a third tour. So that's all in this additional information. Um, when did you join the military? When did you retire or when did you get out? What was your highest grade? And then there's a little thing here about what you want on your name tag, if somebody invited you to join, etc. Again, very important. At the bottom of this thing, it says save. If you changed any of this stuff and you don't say save, it gets lost. So be sure and save it. And again, you got this little additional member data updated thing. Um, if you want to change anything about the way the directory portrays you, this is the place to do it. And a real important one is this username and password. If you want to change your username to something else that you would prefer rather than the one that the Club Express sent you, you can do that. And you can also change your password. So, for those of us that have trouble memorizing or remembering what we had for breakfast, this is a big help because you can put something in here that you're pretty sure you can remember. And again, and I'm not going to do it this time because I don't want to screw up my username and password. But again, at the bottom, you hit save, and that will save that new username and password. Now, one other thing that is really important, and one of the issues that we have had with some people not getting emails, down here under more member options, privacy, cancel, and remove. Under the privacy terms, it asks if you want to receive emails from us. Now, my gut reaction, if anybody asks me if I want to receive an email, I tell them no, because I get enough damn emails as it is. But in this case, we need you to be sure to click yes, because if you don't, then when I send out blast emails, you won't get them. And it'll take me days to figure out why, because I'm not that bright. So be sure on this terms of use and privacy, click yes. And again, very important, save it. So that's basically an overview of your profile. If you've got some time to spend later on today or at some point, log in and take a look at that. It's some good stuff. And like I say, it allows you to tell your story the way you want that story. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to demonstrate how to look up a member in the database. So if you go to directory and you click on directory, you get this screen. And if you don't do anything, if you just want to see what everybody in the database looks like, if you click search, it's going to give you a list of everybody in the database. And again, you can see down here, it says page 1 of 11, etc. If you want to look up a specific member in the database, let's say I want to look up Vince, I type in his last name, and then I click search, and boom, we got Vince. So that's if you one of the things that I've found is really helpful with this website is being able to get contact information for our people. Now, another thing that's going to be pretty helpful, I think, is the use of the calendar. So, we talk about, what we're going to be doing, and eventually when we go back to doing the airport USO and all that, these things will appear on our calendar. So if I was wanting to know, like right now, we're in the February calendar, if I was wanting to know what was going to be in the March meeting, it'll be at the bottom of the February calendar. And you can put your mouse on that and it'll tell you what's going to happen in March. Well, Rabbi Jeff is going to be doing the invocation. Sue Verhoff from the Atlanta History Center is going to do a short presentation about the Veterans History Project. And Colonel John Thompson, who was the commander of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, is going to give us a briefing about the mission to go get Osama bin Laden. Now, if you decide you want to register for that meeting, if you click on it, it'll bring up this screen. And if you look over on the right-hand side, it'll tell you register now, and you can register for the meeting. Right now, we aren't real worried about meeting registrations because the Zoom stuff goes out to everybody in the database anyway. But once we start doing hybrid meetings, we will be looking for people to register that are planning on attending the hybrid meeting in person. And the reason for that is one of the things that we'll need to do is order food. And we'll order food based on who registered. One of the other things that we're going to be doing in these hybrid meetings for the people in attendance is we are going to be observing some COVID-19 protocols. And this is really important. We don't want anybody getting sick coming to one of our meetings. So we're going to do stuff like wear masks, take temperatures, social distance, and all that. And one of the parts of the registration for that meeting is that you understand that that's going to be a requirement for attendance. So that's good to know, and it may happen in April, and it may not happen until May or June. Who knows? The governor may come along and say you can't have more than 10 people anyway. So we're just kind of playing that all by ear. But we know based on that survey that Vince briefed you on, that there are a lot of us that want to get back together because it's just great to get eyeball to eyeball with fellow combat veterans. And that's the part of being a part of this organization. So does anyone have any questions about the website?
Skip.
Yes, sir.
Can we find information on our deceased members on the new website?
I don't know, but that's a great question.
Yeah, I wasn't able to find Mark Steele on there.
I think the only thing that's shown right now is active members. But hang on a minute. Let me check one thing. Okay, if you okay, hold on.
We need to look on that. I may not have copied that over, and we certainly still could, Skip, just for what it's worth.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was something that said, but there's not. And some of the other stuff when we're looking, there's a click on thing that says, all active and associate and former and all kinds of stuff. Max, we'll figure out how to do that. Right now, to the best of my knowledge, we can't.
Okay,
and I apologize, but we will figure that out. Vince, I hope you're writing that down, and we'll put it on our
Yeah.
web team member.
And we haven't lost the information. It's just it may not have been translated over, Max. So that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. I didn't think about it when we were doing the translation.
I got it, Skip. Alan seems to have a question for you, Skip.
Yeah, Alan.
Yes, I wanted to know how we can get an item on the calendar. For instance, Cindy Dundon's funeral is Saturday at 2:00. And
I'll put that on there.
I understand. I appreciate that. But there ought to be a mechanism where any member could request an item and then somebody has to adjudicate whether it belongs there or not and put it on.
Right.
Because that won't be the last funeral.
Right. No, you're right about that. No, I will put that on the calendar. In fact, I should have already done that, and I apologize. But that'll be on there before the end of the day.
I have one more comment of self-interest.
You're unmuted.
Sort of.
Hear you now.
At the risk of being considered Bob Babcock's sidekick, I think it'd be interesting to have a place where the members who have published books could be listed. The books could be listed.
Books.
If only we knew someone that had published a book recently, Alan.
Yeah, but I think Bob could help you at least get a starting list.
No, that's an excellent suggestion also.
Let me say the reason I'm self-conscious about calling members and saying, "Hey, I just released a book. Don't you want to buy one?" I mean, that's a little. That's unseemly to me. So,
right.
But if we had it on the list, or we had it on the website where people could go and say, "Oh, there's Alan Gravel's book. Maybe I'll buy that." So that would be easier for me.
I'm not bashful at all, and I will
Come
send
on, Bob.
a list of all AVVBA members that I'm aware of, and those of you who published outside of me, let me know, and I'll put yours on it. Send me a picture of the book cover, and I will take that as a to-do to get to the team that's going to make it happen.
Skip, I need
my
to talk,
comment.
bud.
Yes, sir.
You got me on there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. When we moved the old data to the new membership in the new site, it did not bring our TAPs. However, I happen to have it all in writing on another part of my computer and our AVVBA stuff. So I have an up-to-date list of all the TAPs, and I can produce that. I haven't typed it yet, but I have it. So I want everybody to know, if you've got a question about it, it did not come over with when we extracted the old data and put it in the new.
Mike, thank you for doing that. And yeah, we will find a way to put that onto the website. So we'll call it TAPs. Anybody else?
Yep. This is,
Yes, sir.
This is Ham. Have the church let you know when we will be able to get back into the church?
No, sir, they have not. And the deal is right now, evidently the bishop, for whatever, this part of the geography, the Methodist Church, is who says when they will start allowing groups like us to go back in there. We're checking with them, but we are also looking at potential other sites. So, and they'll be in the Roswell, Sandy Springs area, but we are looking at other sites as well. So, we're best of all possible worlds, of course, would be to go back to the Dunwoody United Methodist Church. But if that doesn't happen in a timely fashion, and we feel like we're ready to do Zoom meetings and in-person meetings at the same time, then we'll be doing that. Vince, you've got it.
Yes, sir. Okay, everybody. So we still have 61 participants. We peaked at around 78 or 79 during Des's presentation. Wonderful feedback from you all. Thank you for that. I want to mention, as Skip does this yeoman's work on helping us feel like we are the masters of the website instead of the website being the master of us, there's a really effective contact us link there. It works way, way, way well. I get emails every couple of days from you all. They come to me. So you have wonderful ideas like how about a place for deceased members? How can I put something on the calendar? You don't even have to worry about finding Skip's email or my email or John's email. Just go to the website, hit contact us, it arrives in my face and we'll work it. So Skip, thank you for taking us through and leading us through another wonderful meeting. Anything you all want from us, hit us on contact us or in person. We are adjourned.